Okay, welcome to today's Attaining the Worlds Beyond. We are reviewing chapter 35, which is titled The Evil Inclination. We have been offline for quite a while now, and apologies for that. We had various unexpected events, and we could not be online to do this chapter. So there been a lot of gap. If you are part of the Sages Wisdom book club, you would have seen some of the content that we put on the chats, which are all contents that are indirect or directly related to attaining the worlds beyond. So, what is this chapter all about? What's our take on it? That's what we're going to talk about. And if you watch this video after, you're going to see comments at the end of the video. We describe the summary of this video. For me, the evil inclination is a big subject. It's easy to talk about the evil inclination without really talking about the self. So this chapter was about the creator's grandeur, and that left me really thinking about what is the grandeur of the creator, what is the quality of the creator. And for me, it hit on to me when it says how anytime we feel suffering because we haven't received pleasure, that is an indicator of the evil inclination. And the world we live in suffers a lot, and not know that that suffering that we feel is indeed the evil inclination that needs to be transmuted into love. And if there was one thing that I want people to be left with about this chapter, is to just imagine someone that is so powerful, despite the fact that we are hurting each other all the time, that powerful force is willing to forgive us anytime. The moment we turn our attention and do a U-turn in the way we think, in the way we act, compassionately, we are forgiven and accepted. And suddenly it hit home that the grandeur of the Creator is really the Creator's selflessness. The Creator hasn't got a lack. The Creator is a force of giving. And so no matter what passes through the Creator, it doesn't really matter. The love is unconditional. It's not about what you did yesterday or what you didn't do the other day. And then suddenly you realize that our quality is so different because our quality is about judging and accusing and complaining. And this evil inclination, if we were to pinpoint it in our lives, is any point in time when someone is criticized, or when I criticize someone, or when I feel that urge to say something negative about another person, that is the evil inclination. And that is the war that the book tells us that we have to fight against, because that will stand between our quality and the quality of our Creator. Elise?
Yes, thank you, Sheila. Just to ponder on it a bit more, then, if you want to have this war against the evil inclination, then you clearly need to know what you are fighting for. And this book is all about attaining the worlds beyond, which is attaining the revelation of the Creator, His qualities. And as we've gone in previous chapters, we've spoken about getting to know the Creator, we have to have His qualities. And so by starting to believe and know that there is this absolute grandeur of the Creator, the greatness of the Creator, there's a power to be had in that. And it allows you to fight the war, to start to see the evil inclination or the world to receive for what it truly is. You know, us having a few desires of fulfilling our needs, that's one story. That's the world to receive. I'm a being that wants. But that aspect of me that wants, to the extent where I want to destroy another, is a different thing. Or the part of me that does not wish for me to attain the Creator, does not wish for me to become a loving being. When we start to notice that and start to notice that it obstructs us towards the aim that we have, then we are now in this process of being able to observe the evil inclination. And as they say in page on the first few paragraphs, that you have to do the self scrutiny, this assessment, the analysis that you have to do. It's an ongoing matter. Um, I think I'm going to hand over to you now, Thuso. Please. Yeah.
Thanks, Delis. Um, Sheila, it says recording here, so just have a look while I speak. As Delis have said, what is this evil that you are talking about? Anything that we do that is for self and that we do at the expense of others, that's actually what we call the evil inclination. And anything that actually separates us from this grandeur of the creator or the creator himself, it's when I receive for myself without taking into consideration or account of anyone. And in the beginning of this chapter, it says we come into different bodies in this world. We come into this body from the beginning of life to the end of life, and again, meaning we reincarnate. One can ask questions: why were we given this evil inclination? Why didn't the Creator already stop it from the beginning of time? But there's a good reason for it, because it says that He's created a light that also corrects it. That by correcting it, we become closer to Him more and more. And without the evil inclination, we will have nothing to draw us towards Him. It's like when you are ill or sick, and you only go to the doctor when you feel sick. If you don't feel ill or sick, there's no need for me to go to the doctor. So the evil inclination is simply here to tell us and show us that the system that the world has been revolving around, it's actually bringing us closer to some extent through the suffering and pains and everything else that we see all around the world. But at the end of begin to look for the creator. So even though it's there, it's not only there for our detriment, in a sense that uh, the creator gave it to us so as to punish us or something like that, but it's only here simply to help us become closer and closer towards him. So this is a very great chapter, and this was what the only thing that was ever created that we need to correct within us. I don't need to correct the world or other people around me, but once I correct myself and I begin to love everyone the same way that the creator loves everyone, that is how I love the creator, because I do not see him or feel him, taste him or touch him in any sense, but by loving those who are next to me. That's the process of correcting this evil inclination. I'll give to Godfred now.
Yeah, thanks, Tuso. To enjoy what you have said, continue there. I would just want to say a few words in page 409 of the Attaining the Upper World. Something beautiful said here. So all the actions we undertake must be motivated by our intention to perceive the grandeur of the Creator, so that the perception and the realization of this aspect could help us become purer and more spiritual, more collections. So when we have our evil incarnation and then we have our good incarnation, now this is the school we are in here, the school of how to practice loving my friend, my neighbor, myself, and overcoming my challenges, difficulties that are sent to me. But the beauty is that if I presume that the Creator gives me gifts, challenges, obstacles, that I learn that no, I have to love all my friends. I have to see them as my neighbors. And my neighbor means that I must care for them. Then I change my nature. Then I grow closer to the Creator. Then I enjoy doing good because I am now obtaining the greatest quality. For that purpose, We then came to this wisdom, with the wisdom of Kabbalah, and learn how we can be able to uplift ourselves, do more self-assessments, do more collections, and then attain his qualities. Then we enjoy the spiritual world, more beautiful world than we know. So this book actually gives us very wonderful insights of how the more we believe in the Creator, the more the value of Kabbalah give us. We begin to understand this wisdom more. So let us continue enjoying this lesson, enjoying this book, which reveals so much we can't even talk about it all. But it's so beautiful that you yourself delve into it, digest it, and then think about this wisdom helping all humanity. Sheila.
Okay, thank you. I need to, how many more minutes have we got? We got about 5 more minutes. Just going back and look at what the book also talks about in terms of how to achieve the grandeur of the Creator. Because ultimately, it's one thing to be able to sense what is the evil inclination. And by the way, when we talk about this subject, we've already, if you're watching this for the first time, please bear in mind that this is the 35th chapter. We've done 34 chapters. So you may want to go back and look at those other chapters that we have covered. We're talking about the desires. We're talking about a person's heart, which in the context of this book is our desires. And that's what needs to be corrected. So it talks about the grandeur of the Creator, the qualities of the Creator. And in this particular page, I think it's 414. It says, if we behave according to the spiritual laws for the sake of the Creator, we are similar to the Creator in our action, which are aimed at giving us pleasure. Our desires, acts, and qualities gain greater resemblance to those of the Creator. We and the Creator advance closer to one another. The Creator desires that we should give to Him as He gives to us in order for our pleasures not to be overshadowed by shame and not to be seen as charity. I remember pausing when I read this and I said, well, how do I explain this to the average person who would tell me that, well, I'm going to admit it, I've just been cheated on by my husband, and you're telling me the Creator wanted to give me. What exactly did the Creator want to give me in that circumstance? Or somebody just stolen something from me and you're telling me the Creator wants to give me. What exactly does the Creator want to give me? But let's just pause there for a moment. Remember, there are two worlds here. There's the world that wants to receive pleasure, which is the world that we are in. There's the world that the Creator resides, which is the world of giving, limitless pleasure, which then means the desires are different. One just wants to receive, like an animal. The other one is like a king who just wants to give. So if I send your husband to cheat on you or your wife to cheat on you, I'm giving you the opportunity to trust me that I'm asking you to change the desires. You want to receive, but to receive, you have to learn to give. What are you going to give in this circumstance? Well, it's impossible for you to give, and that's why the book also goes on to say, the only thing you can give is faith above reason. You've got to take the reason that says, I've just been cheated on, I've just been stolen from, I've just been treated badly. Take all of that out of the bucket and say, I'm going to give all of that up, and I'm going to have absolute surrender, because we covered that chapter earlier on in another chapter. Absolute surrender that the King, the grandeur of the Creator, the qualities of the Creator is greater than my own desire for all these complaints that I have. And with that, you begin to transform. You begin to change slowly, because that desire for judging others, that desire for complaining that someone has done me harm, that desire is all that needs to go. And if it doesn't go, it separates us from the Creator, in that our quality is still animalistic. We just want to receive pleasure. And the Creator is a different quality that we want to give. So all the things that is happening around us is given to us to change our inner quality. And if we're not able to do so, then we remain stuck with the ego. Anyone else want to say something before we close?
I think you summarized it beautifully, Sheila. And yet, even in that summary, there's so much depth to be had. And you've mentioned this is chapter 35. Once again, read the book. How wonderful, because it all comes together.
Thank you so much. So we close today's session and see you next week. Bye for now. Thank you all.
Thank you.